Royal trips may end one day because people are angry about slavery. William and Meghan King Charles III and his family may need to rethink how they interact with the Commonwealth and its regions after their recent trip to Australia and Samoa. This is because protests and debates about Britain's colonial past continue to make royal visits difficult. A lot of people came out to welcome the King and Queen, but for many, the most memorable event was when Aboriginal politician Senator Lydia Thorpe was kicked out of Parliament House in Canberra for accusing the King of genocide. Some people were angry at Senator Thorpe's outburst, and some people who don't like the Queen called it disrespectful. But her protest also brought up questions about Britain's colonial past. Notable Liberals and the Melbourne newspaper The Age called for King Charles to apologise for how Britain treated Indigenous Australians. There is a lot of unrest going on at the same time as what some Republican groups call the King's farewell tour of Australia. Several state premiers turned down invites to a reception with the monarch. The tour's debate is a reflection of larger problems in the Commonwealth. At the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting CHOM in Samoa, Britain got flack for not being willing to pay poorer member countries for climate change and slavery. King Charles is the leader of the UK and 14 other countries, some of which are calling for reparations. He has been very careful as he has handled this tricky diplomatic situation. Even though he has tried to stay out of political trouble, he is still under a lot of pressure. None of us can change the past, the King told the Commonwealth in a carefully written speech during CHOM. That being said, we can fully commit to learning from it and coming up with new ways to fix errors that keep happening. While he acknowledged the weight of history, he didn't go into specifics of colonial wrongs or give the formal apology that some people have been calling for. Like the US, Britain's Prime Minister Rishi Sunak has drawn a line in the sand and said that paying people back for slavery is not an option, even though he understands how sensitive the problem is. Sir Keir Starmer, the leader of the Labour Party, has also said that we need to face our hard shared past, but there is no clear way forward on this contentious topic. King Charles faces a huge challenge when he has to balance his official job as head of the Commonwealth with the needs of the UK. He won't do anything to weaken the UK's position, a royal source said, but he'll have to balance that with his other duties. Charles is a 75-year-old minister with a lot of experience. He has been traveling to Commonwealth countries since he was a child. His first trip was to Malta on the royal yacht Britannia. Even though he is experienced, the monarchy's bond with the Commonwealth is clearly facing new problems. What's causing more trouble in the Commonwealth political unrest has always gone along with royal trips, but things are getting more urgent in the Commonwealth, especially in the 14 countries where King Charles is still head of state. In these places, like Australia, Canada, Jamaica, and New Zealand, there are growing calls to cut all links with Britain and replace the monarch with a head of state from within the country. Colonialism's effects, calls for reparations, and worries about climate change have all come together to make people question whether or not the government is still necessary in these countries.